They call themselves the Guardians of the Galaxy.
What a bunch of a-holes.
Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka, ooga, ooga.
I can't stop this feeling deep inside of me. Girl, you just don't realize what you do to me. When you hold me in your arms so tight, you let me know everything's alright. Can you hear me? I'm hooked on a feeling.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy C Sams, and this is Infinity Watch. Now, you already know why I'm here. It's my job to prepare you for the upcoming film in May 2018, Avengers Infinity War. I got a Sony Walkman right now. Y'all probably haven't seen a Walkman in who knows, but this should be a dead giveaway of what we're going to be talking about today. And what we're talking about is a film that dropped and which was a big surprise to many of us, Guardians of the Galaxy Vol. 1. The story of 5 individuals from different parts of the galaxy coming together to form a team to take on a big bad person in the universe known as Ronan the Accuser. This movie, full of surprises, probably one of the best films that Marvel has ever dropped. When you talk about music and the song selections in this movie, yo, I'm telling you, over the top, off the hook. I'm going to be playing some of those tracks in the background while I'm telling you all about this movie. Once again, this movie is just a segue to some bigger movies that are to come. But we have to get an idea of what kind of universe we're dealing with. We had Thor. Thor talks about what's going on in the galaxy, what's going on in the 9 realms. Now we see the Guardians of the Galaxy, which tells us a lot more of what's going on in the universe. It's crazy, it's exciting. I can't wait to get into this with y'all. So I'm gonna put these headphones back in because I think they're playing my song. Oh wait, no. We gotta talk. Now, we start this movie in a sad way. We're on Earth, probably the only time we're going to be on Earth. And we see Peter Quill chilling there with his Walkman, headphones on, and he's listening to a song, 10cc, I'm Not in Love. I love that song. That song reminds me of the days when I was a kid and I used to go to doctor's offices, I used to go to dentist offices, and they'll play the same song over and over again. I don't know why they play the song. I'm not the one who makes all the song choices. I'm just the one that listens to it. So, we're seeing this young boy dealing with the fact that his mother is dying. Mother's surrounded by all the family. Mother calls Peter into the room. Peter, come and take my hand. Come close to me. Peter's like, no, I don't want to deal with this. I can't deal with this. Mother dies in front of Peter. Peter goes crazy. Peter runs out. Peter's in the middle of the field. All of a sudden, a spaceship comes down, sucks Peter up, and we're gone. We leave Earth. Now, this is about 30 years later, I think it is. 20 years. I think it was 20 years later. But now you see Peter Quill as a grown man in this area, in this deserted planet. And what he's doing there, he's dancing around. He's being playful. He's playing, interacting with everything. There's a lot of Easter eggs in this scene. And he gets into a broken down temple. And in this temple is an orb that is still under surveillance. It's still guarded. Why is there an orb guarded in this deserted planet? Makes no sense. Peter Quill actually goes in. He puts a device down, he sucks that orb out of the imprisonment that is in, and boom, he has access to it. Now, someone else walks in here, and he pulls up right up on Peter, and he says, drop it, drop it. He has a bunch of people with him. Now, this person is named Korath the Pursuer. His job is to pursue. So, he is pursuing Peter in order to get to this orb. Now Peter is saying, hey, listen, man, I'm just here for this. I don't know what this thing is. I was just told to get this. Someone hired me to come and get this. And you know, Korath don't believe him. He said, you might know me from a different name. He said, what is that? He says, Star-Lord. Who? Man, that joke in the beginning was so funny. Obviously, Peter's trying to make a name for himself, and he's not very good at it. So during this entire scene, Peter gets away, a lot of commotion is going on, a lot of trickery is going on. Peter is doing all types of stuff. He's trying to get away from these guys. He finally gets back onto the ship. He's on the ship, he blasts away. out of the planet, out of sight, out of mind, out of trouble. Now, while he's on his ship, he has someone sleeping in the bottom of the ship. She comes up and she's like, Peter, what's going on? He said, wow, I forgot you was even here. We already see what kind of movie we're dealing with. We're dealing with a funny movie. And just keep in mind, folks, we're dealing with Marvel. Marvel is all about comedy and stuff like that. So this particular movie was a great surprise because we didn't know what to expect. A lot of the characters don't really have funny bones to them in the comic books. So it was very refreshing to see this different take on some of these characters. So we're now seeing Ronan the Accuser. Ronan the Accuser is getting prepared. For whatever reason, they woke him up. They're preparing his body. They're preparing his garments and everything like that. He's holding this big old hammer and stuff like that. He has someone from the Nova Corps captive. He's saying, yeah, I understand that you and my people have an agreement, but I do not serve under my people. I serve myself, and I'm going to do what my father and grandfather originally planned to do with your nation, with your planet, and that is to cleanse it and wipe it off the face of the universe. So he takes his hammer and he drills this dude's head. They don't show it, but man, it's brutal. Now we're back on planet Nova. Peter's walking around. He's trying to get to this person who hired him, deliver this orb, get his money, go about his business. Before we get there, Ronan is now told by Thanos, in order for me to destroy this planet, I need you to get something for me, and what I need is that orb. So, of course, the pursuer, Korath, was trying to get the orb. He couldn't get the orb. So now he's talking to the two daughters of Thanos, Gamora and Nebula. Nebula says, well, I'll go ahead and do it because that's what y'all want me to do. And then Gamora says, nah, I got this. I can take care of this, no problem. So Gamora goes ahead down there and takes care of it. Nebula is on the sideline. Now, back to present time. We get to this collector of sort. I forget the guy's name, but he's there. He says, all right, where's the orb? I have the orb. Here it is. Okay, great. Pay me my money. He said, man, it's kind of crazy because some crazy dude named Ronan the Accuser is looking for this thing. And then all of a sudden, he reneges on the deal. He says, nah, take this. I want nothing to do with this if Ronan's involved. Ronan is crazy. I don't want no parts of this dude. He's nuts. Never mind that. So, of course, kicks him out. He's out on his butt. Right there, Gamora is waiting for him. They have a little talking, a little back and forth. She takes the orb, kicks him, and run. Now, before we get to all this, we meet Rocket Raccoon and Groot. They're walking around and they're going to collect the bounty that is currently on Peter Quill. How does this happen? I'll tell you how. Let's go back to that planet that we just left. Now, on that planet, Yondu comes through. Now, Yondu is the original dude who took Peter from Earth and brought him up. He taught him everything like that, and he made him a Ravager. Now, he's on this planet looking for Peter to give him the orb so they could collect the money. Peter went into business for himself. He's upset. Hold on, they're playing my song. My bad. Had to listen to that. Listen, he goes ahead, puts a bounty out on Peter. Now his guys are getting upset because he keeps giving Peter chances, and Yondu's like, yo man, leave the kid alone. I'm gonna take care of him myself. I'm gonna kill him myself. So we get back onto this planet. Now there's a little back and forth hustling going on. We see Stan Lee. Gotta give that shout out. We get this scuffle going on, and then Rocket Raccoon and Groot enter the fray. And now everybody's involved in this scuffle. Now, of course, the Nova Corps comes in, freezes everything, stops everybody, puts everybody in suspended animation, and say, hey, you guys are under arrest because look what you're doing to this peaceful city. You're wilding out. So now they go all the way to the Kill. Now the Kill is actually a prison that is for people that the Nova Corps takes. Now during this process, we meet each character and they do a breakdown. Star-Lord, who Star-Lord is. They talk about Gamora, how she's the stepdaughter of the Mad Titan Thanos. We also see Groot, a humanoid plant creature. We see Rocket, a cybernetic, genetically engineered primitive creature. So they broke down the characters right there in the lineup. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, during this time, we see all of them transfer into the prison. Their stuff is taken away, and now they're in the prison. Now, during this time, a little scuffle is going on. Some big dude comes up, tries to, make Peter his boo, and then Groot comes in, knocks him out the way. Rocket's his mouthpiece. All fun and good. During this entire scuffle, Down there, who's glaring at everything, is my man Dave Bautista playing the role of Drax. Now, Drax is a crazy character in the comic books. His sole purpose is to kill Thanos. So the way they were going to approach him was going to be very interesting because from my understanding, from what I've read, Drax is not the type of dude to make any jokes. So he's very literal, very serious. That's exactly what we got in this movie. Now, a couple of things go by. We're gonna pass a few things, and now we're at the scene of the movie where all 5 members are standing there, and they're just standing there trying to figure out how they're gonna get out of prison. Peter said, well, Rocket said we're gonna escape because he's escaped every single prison he's ever been in. So now Rocket has this plan, going through the plan and everything like that. Groot walks away, pulls the item that was supposed to be the last thing they need to pull, and of course get everything on and popping. So of course they gotta put the plan in action. So now all this scuffle is going on, everything is happening. They're trying to get everything that they need to give to Rocket so that Rocket could go ahead and put things together and get out of this this situation. Now, while they're doing all of that stuff, there's a part of the movie that I found was hilarious. Rocket asks Peter to get a person's leg. Now, once Peter brings his leg and everything over to him, he said, all right, here's the leg. He said, oh, I don't really need it. What do you mean you don't need it? Oh, I just wanted to see what would happen. Was it funny to see this guy hopping and everything like that? He was like, dude, I had to transfer units over to this dude just to get his leg. He was like, okay, well, I don't need the leg. So they go through this entire thing. A bunch of robots and stuff like that. It's a pretty decent fight scene, if you ask me. But all these robots and stuff like that is all over the place. Now the Nova Corps has come. They got these rocket launchers. They're blasting this protective barrier casing shield thing, whatever. Rocket is a beast. He's putting things together. He pushes the button, takes off the anti-gravity inside of the prison, so everybody's floating. Then he has all these little bots come onto it, and now they connect onto it, and now they have a ship of some sort. They blast out. They get out. Now, Peter's walking with them. He's saying, hey, listen, guys, get over to my ship. Get my ship in the air. I'm going to meet you later. He said, why? What's wrong? Well, his headphones are missing. His Walkman is missing. He definitely needs these 2 things. We need music throughout this entire movie. So he says, listen, the orb is in my bag. Take my bag. I'm going to go and get my Walkman and stuff like that. But he doesn't really say that. He just says, I got to get something. So they leave. He leaves. Now they're saying, now where's Peter? You're saying, well, Peter's not here. Peter went to go get something. Man, let's just leave Peter. We have what we need. Let's just go to whoever your guy is to get this money, and we're good. 40 million units or something like that. So why we need Peter? They open the bag, and of course, the orb is not there. Peter has the orb. Nice insurance plan. Drax says, well, where is Peter? Then he looks out. He says, behold. And then you see him flying and everything like that, all majestic and all that stuff. And now he finally gets to the ship. They say, yo, man, where'd you go to get, what did you need? What was the mystical thing that you need? He took out his Walkman and stuff like that. Drax looks at it. He says, you're an idiot. Now, there's a scene that I really love because we are seeing for the first time in all the movies leading up to this, Thanos. Now, Thanos is sitting on his throne. The accusing guy, the guy that was there for the Avengers movie, who said, if you want to battle the Meagle Might of Earth, you get it. He's saying he's pretty much going back and forth with Ronan. Well, our people told us that Gamora was in the kill, and Gamora had her own plans with the orb. And he's like, well, that's not my fault. This is your daughter. You gave her to me. So if anything, she's the one that betrayed you. I didn't betray you. And then they're going back and forth. So of course, Ronan goes ahead and kills the dude that we saw this whole time. I didn't mind that. It was annoying. And then after that entire thing, he says to Thanos, well, this is what he said.
The only matter I do not take seriously, boy, is you. Your politics bore me. Your demeanor is that of a pouty child. And apparently, you alienated my favorite daughter, Gamora. I shall honor our agreement, Kree, if you bring me the orb. But return to me again empty-handed, and I will bathe the Starways in your blood.
I had no choice. I had to definitely share that. I mean, that's the first time we see Thanos in a movie. And to me, I gotta be honest, that was perfect. That is the perfect vision and version of Thanos that I can possibly imagine. He looks perfect. From his look, his talk, the armor, everything. Perfect. And then afterwards he smiles. Oh man, what a beast. Now, these people are on their way to a new location. Now, where they're going, I'm telling you, Marvel, in this movie, James Gunn, he put his foot into this movie. This is some comic book lore that we're stepping into. We get all the way over to a planet that's actually a severed head of a celestial. This planet is called Nowhere. K-N-O-W, where. This planet is, like I said, is a severed head of a celestial. So inside of this planet, there's a lot of organic things that makes it a black market delicacy. So now everybody's there. They get to the planet. They're going to meet the same person that we meet at the end of Thor: The Dark World, Tadalir's Savant, the Collector. Now they get to the Collector and everything like that. The Collector is saying, well, do you have exactly what we spoke about? Shows him the orb. Of course, Peter is a goof. He drops the orb and everything like that, shows him. Now Drax and Rocket and Groot, they go and have some, pound some brewskis and all that stuff, do some, I don't know, they're getting into some crazy stuff. But let's stick to what's going on with the Collector. They all get back and everything like that. Actually, that part happened at whatever. Anyway, let's focus right here. Now, the Collector is going through the history of the Infinity Stones. He says there were 6 entities that were in the beginning of the universe, and there were some creatures that used to be able to wield these Power Stones. Now, the Power Stone is what we're talking about today. So, last couple of movies, we saw different Infinity Stones. This Infinity Stone is considered to be the Power Stone. Now, the Power Stone is basically gives power to the entire Infinity Gauntlet. So whichever stone you're dealing with, it amplifies that stone to 100 times its power. That's why it's the Power Stone. So it shows a celestial holding the stone on his staff, hitting the stone on a planet, eradicating the entire planet. That's how powerful that stone is. And when he finally opens the orb and reveals the actual Power Stone, now technically at this present moment, the Collector has 2 Infinity Stones. Remember, we gave him the Ether in the last movie. Now he's getting the Power Stone. Now, in this part, we see one of Collector's servants looking at the stone, staring at the stone. Her twin sister is trapped up as one of his collections. Now she's looking at the stone. All this stuff is happening in the background. She says, I will no longer serve. She grabs the stone. She starts to bring the stone inside of her. And of course the stone explodes. Huge explosion inside of Collector's collection. There's a lot of Easter egg in this one now. I have a strong feeling that the person that we saw in one of these capsules was Beta Ray Bill. I'm not going to get into it. I'm going to get upset. Anyway, this big explosion happens. The team gets upset. The team separates. Drax goes ahead and calls Ronan and say, yo man, you got beef? I got something you need. Come and get me. So now Ronan comes through and he says, yo, are you the guy who sent the message? I say, yeah, you killed my family and stuff like that. So I got to kill you. Okay, no problem. I don't remember your family. I don't care for your family. If you don't got what I need, I'm out of here. So now Nebula tracks down Gamora with the orb. She goes out and gets her. They're in these little pods and stuff like that. Nice little battle happening. End of the story is Gamora's trapped in space. She's floating around in space. She can't stay out there too long. She's gonna die. Peter Quill gets out there, calls Yondu, says, Yondu, I got what you need. Come and get me. There seems to be a pattern here. We're in space. Peter comes over to Gamora, takes off his helmet, puts it on Gamora and everything like that. Now Peter's starting to freeze up and everything like that. Remember, there's something special about Peter. He's starting to freeze up and everything like that. Yondu comes in at the nick of time, brings him in. Now during this time, they're saying, yo, they're about to kill him, but they're saying, yo, Ronan has his hand on something called an Infinity Stone. And then Yondu's like, I know what that is. But then you know why we got to take it away from him, because he's going to look to destroy the entire planet of Nova. You can't allow him to do that. Or Xandar. That's the name of the planet, Xandar. So now we're getting to the end of this movie. Now, Ronan is talking to Thanos. He's saying, man, if only I knew what was inside of this orb. Now that I know that it's an Infinity Stone, I'm going to do everything I can to finish the job that you said you was going to do. And when I wipe out Xandar, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to come get you. Thanos looks at him, smirks, and disappears. Now, during this entire time, he takes the stone, he puts it into his hammer. All of a sudden, he's fully powered. He's ready to go. Now, the Black Ursa, that's the name of his ship, is making a feline to Xandar. And Peter Quill sends a message and everything like that, says, hey, listen, and John C. Reilly's in this movie. Go figure. He gives the message to Nova Prime, say, listen, the Guardians of the Galaxy is coming to help you guys, but you guys need to prepare because Ronan is coming. He has something called an Infinity Stone. If he touches the planet with the Infinity Stone, he could wipe out the entire planet. So this fight is happening. You see the Guardians of the Galaxy suiting up, getting ready to go, getting ready to fight. I love this scene. I love it all. It's a funny scene. So now they're all getting ready to fight. This whole battle is happening and stuff like that. Planes are going everywhere. Planes are being shot out the sky. It's a wild event. Everything is going on. Everything is going crazy. Now, we get to inside the ship. Now, once we're inside of the ship, Gamora and Nebula fight and everything like that. Nebula loses her hand as a result of the fight. Pay attention to that. Groot is a beast. He's destroying everything. Now, during this time, they find Ronan and they use this device, this crazy device, the same device that they kind of threatened Yondu with, a little bit back forward, or a little back, or whatever. He's standing there with the thing. He shoots it over to Ronan. Ronan survives, and then, you know, Drax drops it, runs after Ronan, tries to fight him. He can't do anything. Rocket Raccoon comes through with the ship, with his plane, or one of the, I guess, jet fighters or whatever you want to call it. Runs through the Acer, knocks it down, it's going to crash. Now, while it's crashing, Groot opens up his hands and surrounds the entire team. Groot is about to sacrifice himself. And Rocket's like, yo, man, what are you doing, man? You can't do this. If you do this, you're going to die. And then Groot says, we are Groot. Talk about a tearjerker. Right down here. So, crashes. Groot's gone, well, allegedly. And all the Guardians of the Galaxy is scattered all over the place. Now, here comes Ronan. Ronan survived. Of course he survived. Now, he's getting ready to put this stake down and destroy the entire planet. This part of the movie I really didn't get because we see Peter dancing. And Ronan is like, yo, what are you doing? I'm like, man, why do you even care what he's doing? Just drop that thing down. But, you know, we have to have some type of comedy and stuff like that. It's a Marvel movie. Get with it. Now, during this whole time, Rocket is putting together the little thing that they used before to try to kill Ronan but couldn't do it. They put together this thing. He shoots the hammer, which separates the hammer from the Infinity Stone. Peter jumps off, grabs the Infinity Stone, holds the Infinity Stone. The rest of the team lock hands, and everybody's holding hands containing the power of the Infinity Stone. He looks at Ronan and says, man, you said it yourself. We're the Guardians of the Galaxies, B. Opens his hand and released that power onto Ronan. Ronan is eradicated. That's the end of it. Now, we're getting into a little bit more of the story. At the end of it, they're looking at Peter's economy. And they're saying, man, listen, you're mixed with something different than Tara. You're mixed with something we've never seen before. Pay close attention to that. And then we get to the end of the movie. They get back on the plane. They shoot off in space. We see Baby Groot dancing. That's the end of the movie. This movie was nothing but fun. I had a blast watching this movie. I hope you guys had a blast watching this movie. Pay close attention to everything that happened in this movie because this movie is nothing but spoilers and opening to the cosmic realm, the cosmic universe. Please pay attention. Like I said, this movie, nothing but fun. One of the top 10 Marvel Cinematic movies of the MCU. Top 10. It's that good. So, once again, my name is C. Sams. This is Infinity Watch. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the music in the background. This movie had the best soundtrack, hands down. No questions about it. Stay tuned because we're going to be talking about something else. We're going to be talking about Avengers Age of Ultron. This movie was crazy. You see the glitches in the screen, right? I gotta talk to Ultron because he wilding out right now. But I gotta take care of some stuff. Once again, this is your boy C. Sams. Sams out.